Jet touchdown! And there's Quinnen Williams as he throws down Teddy Bridgewater. John Franklin Myers blasted up the middle.
It's back from the bye week for the New York Jets, who hit the road for a rematch with the New England Patriots up in Foxborough. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. I'm your host, Dan Graca. Pleased to be joined, as always, by my co-host from the NFL Network. I missed her. Haven't seen her in a week because of the bye. It's Cynthia Frelund. Cynthia, did you have a nice, relaxing week?
You know, I did. I very much enjoyed, watching all the games and seeing kind of like, a little bit more on the ahead of the game, kind of what other teams were looking at. So then we can come back and really scout out for the Jets even more.
Back to business. We get the week off. Now it's full steam ahead for the final 12 weeks of the season. But before we move forward, you know how we like to do it. Let's rewind a little bit here to the last game the Jets played. It seems like it was ages ago over in London, a 27-20 setback to the Atlanta Falcons. A game where the Jets fell behind early but crawled their way back into this, got it to within a field goal late in the game, but then the Falcons pulled away there at the very end before the Jets were able to come through here. So we're a third of the way through the season. We figure, you know what, coming off the bye week, now is a good time to maybe highlight some notable performers that the Jets have had so far through the first 5 weeks of the season. And no better place to start than on that offensive line with the rookie left guard. That would be Elijah Vera-Tucker. And Cynthia, you know the high expectations coming into the season for AVT. Jets traded up to get him. And little by little, with each passing game, you see the performance really starting to manifest itself. And Jet fans should be excited what they see from their left guard.
I like that you used manifest there. I also like that Elijah Vera-Tucker had an over 92 PFF grade after the last game with the Falcons. When you go back to look kind of his progression as the season has gone on, the past 2 games especially, he is just becoming, okay, hey guys, I'm elite. We're going to go towards elite. Let's do that. So let's hope that he continues that trajectory because it's a really nice one, very helpful for both the run game and the passing game.
And you mentioned that 92 grade. That was his highest individual one, according to PFF. So far this season, so you hope to see much more of that from Elijah Vera-Tucker. Jets want to get the run game going, I'm sure, starting again this week in New England. And that's a great place to start because if you rewind back to week number 2, Cynthia, that was the Jets' best rushing performance of the season against this same New England Patriots team. 152 yards on the ground, almost 5 yards a pop. And it's a rookie, another one, Michael Carter, who's leading the way on the ground.
Well, let's see. If you also go look at Michael Carter in that Falcons game, when he was running to the left, which, it's no surprise because who's on the left side of that line? Just so we know, that's Elijah Vera-Tucker, just so we're clear. 6.2 yards per attempt, and he broke a tackle for his touchdown. So let's just say he's evolving as well, and the kind of both of them together, that's a nice combination.
No doubt about that. Now, enough with the offense. Let's slide over to the defensive side of the ball. And I know you're going to get excited about this one because he's one of your favorites. He's a lot of people's favorites, of course, and that is John Franklin Myers. He's got himself a contract extension. He's going to be here for a while. He's already tied his career high with 3 sacks so far this season. Oh, and by the way, that's only through 5 games. Cynthia, Jet fans have to be excited about what number 91 is going to bring for them in the future.
How can you not love him? Watch that presser. You can watch it in England. You can watch it in America. You can watch it on the East Coast, the West Coast. You got to love this kid no matter what. In fact, if you don't like him, I don't want to know you because he's awesome. Like, that story is incredible. Like, the emotion, he's so grateful. I love him. I just love him.
Now, in honor of John Franklin Myers and his buddies on that defense, that brings us to our first prop bet of the show here. And let's talk about sacks. Now, if we go back to the Week 2 meeting against New England Patriots, the Jets sacked Mac Jones 3 times that afternoon. So how about an over-under 3.5 sacks by the Jets this week against the New England Patriots? What do you think?
The Jets' defensive front is starting to come together even more, and the O-line for the Patriots is banged up. So I think it's going to be 4 sacks or more for a lot of reasons, and I know Mac Jones gets the ball out of his hands really quickly, but I do think that the Jets, because they're able to get that quick jump off the line, they're actually really, really fast in terms of they're the 6th fastest from the time of snap to pressure. That's part of why they have the 8th most sacks in the league. I think they have at least 4 sacks this game.
I agree, and you hit it right on the head, talking about the Patriots' offensive line being banged up. And remember, the Jets didn't have any sacks in that Falcons game a couple of weeks ago. They've been sitting on that for 2 weeks. You know, they're chomping at the bit. They're going to want to create
Jonathan
some
Franklin
havoc.
Myers has something to say about that. So does Quinnen Williams, but
So does
I like
Sheldon Rankins, everybody on that defensive line. That's why we both think it's going to be an over in terms of the sacks. We'll find out for sure coming up on Sunday. And when we return here on the Numbers Game, we will look ahead to the opponent this week. It's a familiar one. It's the New England Patriots. This is the Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET.
Good to have you boys back.
You know how it is. We never really left. Slow down, though. I got to make my picks. You want to get on this win bet with me?
I like where your head's at, but Boston's not covering.
WynnBET, huh?
Yep. Bet any game, anytime, and you bet with win, so it's the best. You don't need to cover?
Look at the numbers.
Look at the offense.
With what, Frank? A microscope?
Go with Boston, Ben.
Don't worry, Frank. I already made my picks. I just wanted to see you two go at it.
You have an allegiance to Boston right now, but
That's called common sense.
common to who? Bostonians?
And welcome back to the Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. All right, next up for the Jets returning to the field here is the second meeting already in the last 5 weeks with the New England Patriots. As Pat's team sits at 2-4, Cynthia, they're 0-4 at home. The first time that's happened for them since way back in 1993. Last week they drop a tough overtime decision to the Dallas Cowboys, 35-29. Jets are going to have their hands full anytime you step into Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting part about both of these teams is rookie quarterbacks get better. So every week we see progression, every week we see growth. So it's going to be a fun one.
Now let's talk about the game last week with the Cowboys and what their quarterback Dak Prescott did against that Patriots defense, and maybe tie it a little bit to Zach Wilson and some of the success that he's had so far in his rookie campaign. Dak had 3 touchdown passes against that Patriot defense. They were all to a certain quadrant of the field, which is also the same part of the field that Zach Wilson has hit pay dirt with his TDs. Am I right?
Deep offensive right. That's where they were. And the good part here is that Dak gave a nice blueprint for something that they can exploit with this offense with Zach Wilson. And that's Jalen Mills has some tendencies. If you throw it over his head, you can create a mismatch and you can create an advantage there. And by the way, Dak knew a little bit about this because remember, Jalen Mills used to be on the Eagles. So there's some historical reference points there.
So this is going to be the second matchup in the career of Zach Wilson versus Mac Jones, the fellow rookie quarterback first-round pick out of Alabama. Last time these two teams played, there was only 31 total points scored in the game. So for our second prop bet, let's look at offense. Let's look at total points again. How about over/under 42.5, the rematch Jets-Pats Sunday? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that. I think, look, just think about it like this. If you have 43 points in a game, like one team is 21 and one team is 22, right? Okay, so one team, something like that. So in the 20s, it's 3 scores apiece. I think we go more than that.
I just got a weird feeling this is still going to be a low-scoring slugfest. I have that feeling. Both of these teams, that they like to get after it on defense, both defensive-minded coaches. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, typical division rival. I'm going to go with the under a little bit. We disagree here, but I think we're all.
Woo,
that's
fun. I like it.
We're all pulling for the same outcome, though, but it doesn't have to be a certain score. So we'll see how it all shapes up at the very end. Cynthia, this was fun. Getting back at it after the bye week. Enjoy the game on Sunday, and we'll do it again next week.
You know it. Have a great one.
All right. She's Cynthia Frelund. I'm Dan Graca. Thanks for checking us out here on the Numbers Game, presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. So long, everybody.